Okay, good evening, everyone. I just want to start this session by saying happy Valentine, the season of love. So we're going to jump right into it. Today we are going to be reviewing this copy, right? And in past sessions, we've explained the meaning of direct response copywriting. This swipe right here is a good example of direct response copywriting. We want you to take action immediately, right? So direct response copywriting is aimed at taking action immediately. And why it's just give me a moment. All right. So sorry. So why it's good, why it's differentiated from other forms of copywriting is because of the purpose. We have already differentiated copywriting from content writing. You know the difference between content writing and copywriting now. But however, even in copywriting, there are categories of copywriting. There is brand copywriting, like copywriting that is just get for amusement, maybe just for that it's more of a long-term thing, right? There are different types of categories of copywriting, but when you say somebody is a direct response copywriter, they are more they are more like really straight to the point. It's a really straight to the point copywriting where we want you to take action immediately, right? That's the aim of direct response copywriting, and then we've differentiated that so many times in our classes, right? So I'm just going to do a refresher of that, and that's what I've just done, right? And I'm sure most of you have read this and you slept while reading it. Let's be honest, right? When I was first reading this, preparing for this class, I slept while reading it. Like it's long, right? Yeah, right? Because this is what we call a sales letter. Right? This is what we call a sales letter. This was in the olden days kind of um, this was the olden days kind of marketing where on a newspaper, right? This is written on a newspaper. You can see the columns that there are, right? And this is something long. It's a newsletter. It's a sales newsletter. And now the question I get most times, right? The question I get most times is, does this kind of writing still works? Because a lot of people just prefer something short, like just give it to me shorts and I'm okay, right? So you want to ask yourself, like I asked myself while reading this, that why did this person write like so something long for a $3 product, for a $3 product rather, right? And the answer is that it works, right? It works because people people who are really interested read, right? People who are really interested, they read. And we're going to be breaking this down. You see why somebody will read. If I Why I would sleep on this is probably because I am not the target audience this is for, right? But let's say you are someone newly married. You are newly married. You just got married, or you are a bride. You are a young bride, and even this headline, only brides and recently married women are invited to read this. This alone will capture your attention and you will want to know what is written there. And you'll be captivated to the end to the offer. Right? Why it's long is because it's still work. And don't let anybody deceive you and tell you that long copies don't work. Long copies work, right? It just depends on what you're writing in the long copy and how you write your long copy. If you are writing something long and you're just extremely boring, you're not using there's no right structure in it. Like we'll discuss the structure like we'll discuss the structure of how a sales letter is written and everything, and we'll see some key elements I was using, the tone, the structure, the step by step taking you through the whole process, right? The offer, right? We'll look into that. So we'll be reading it together. I'll not just be reading it, I'll not just be reading it. I'll be picking some people, we'll select people, and then we'll read it together. I want to make this so conversational as possible, right? So I'm not just the only one talking. Okay, so I'm not the only one talking. By now, most of us should be able to break down a sales copy. We should be able to look at a sales copy, come up with a framework of the sales copy, and be able to use that framework to write another sales copy that we want to write. And this is how pro copywriters do. Like, if I want to write a copy now, I don't sit down at a blank screen and I'll be like thinking, what should I write? What should I write? What should I write? And I think this is a problem of so many copywriters these days, right? So when they have a job to do, or they want to write, so they are thinking like they're always thinking, what should I write? What should I write? What should I write? While there are a lot of swipes, or a lot of people have written this on the same topic that you want to write on, and you can just pick one of those swipes or multiple of those swipes. Most times it's good to have so many, right? So I don't know if you have read this book, Still Like an Artist. You pick from different places and combine to write your own work. As a copywriter, what you should mainly do is to create, right? What you mainly do is to structure, create, and know the principles, right? Once you know the principles, what is left for you is to create, right? Pick from here, pick from here, pick from here, join together to have a good copy. I'm not saying that there will not be originality in writing, but when you are first getting started, these are the things that you should do. You should be swipe files should be your friend. Like, swipe files should be your friend. I remember when I was just starting out too. I'm not the best writer. I got C6 in my YA. I'm not the best writer. Even till now, I don't think I'm still the best writer. But what I know how to do very well is to use swipes. I've gone to so many training programs and so many copywriting training programs. And anytime we are asked to write a copy, I'm usually the best copywriter. Like, and it's not because I know how to write. It's just because I know how to use swipes. So when I was starting out, though nobody told me, but it was just something I wanted to do. I was like a copywriting police because I was really, really interested in copywriting. And what I would do is to go and, like, any email list that I see, or anybody I see doing an email list that is a good copywriter, I'll just sign up to their email list. And every day I'll be reading their emails, right? Like, that's what I was just signing up into different people's email list. There's one of my emails now. If you go there, like, at least every day I receive 30 emails from marketers, right? Different marketers. And you cannot tell me today that I should write a copy. The first thing I'll go and do, like, now I can come up with original ideas because I've read so many copies, and it's just there. Like, I come up with original ideas. But if I have to think at all, I have tons of swipe. I can just go and put one keyword about what I'm writing. I'll see somebody who has written exactly what I've written, right? And just pick that copy, break it down, and write my own copy from what that person has written. So starting out, swipe files should be your friend, and that's why in EMA we say that you guys should write 10 swipe files, like, and write 10 swipe files. It's not because we want to punish you. It's not because like we're just saying you should do it. There's a reason why. For example, now I don't have to always look at swipe files. Like, once you tell me, give me the brief, you don't even need to give me a lot of information. And that's why people like me, I'll get most jobs that entry-level copywriters can't get, because you don't need to give me too much information for me to come up with something solid for you, right? And that's because I've trained myself over and over again with swap files, right? That I can just come up with copies on the spot, right? But as starting out, it was not like that. I used to write one email for one day, just one email for one day. And the stress I used to write that one email, I will first take a walk. Maybe I'll write one line. There's nothing to write again. I'll take a walk, I'll go and think. It's be like as if I have idea. I'll come back, sit down, nothing. I'll sleep, watch film. Like for just for one email, it was a lot of mental stress. But thank God that I understood this thing about swipe files early as possible. So I was just literally modeling other people's copies, right? Just I just sit down, break down a copy, what somebody has written, and come up with my own, like I'll get ideas from what somebody has written, right? And sometimes I'll open like 20 tabs like this, be checking different people's copies and just pick from here, pick from here, pick from here, pick from here, combine together, create, because I understand the structure, understand the basic principles, and come up with my copy. So swap files, I'm saying all of this to help you understand that swipe files should be your friend. Like if you have not gone through those 10 swipe files that we have given you in EMA, that's a good place to start. And start from long copies. Why you should start from long copies is because they will like they will work on your copywriting skills. Like you can never compare a long copy to a short copy because in a long copy, there are so many things going on in a long copy that you can learn from. Like so many things. I wish that I can still show you my handwriting book where I used to handwrite letters. I have a full scap, right? I like a book, a long notes where I used to write. It's not like anything. It just helps you really, really well, right? And guys, the main principle is for you to understand your job as a copywriter is not to write. Though it's called copywriting, your job is not to write. Your job is to understand the principles behind what makes the writing sell. That's your number one job. There are a lot of things that can help you to write now. There's AI itself. AI will help to write fine, right? AI is getting more brilliant. And then because if you think that your job as a copywriter is to write, AI will take your job like sweet, clean. In present AI will take your job sweet, like you take your job clean. Your job as a copywriter is to understand the principle that makes what somebody writes sells, right? Anybody can write, but is what they're writing going to sell? That's the question that you are to answer as a copywriter, right? So that's where these exercises they help you to understand what a selling writing should look like. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Right. So it's important that you do all of these things. A long form copy, there are so many things going on. There are so many sections. The offer is more elaborate. Like for example, you will not see like all of these excerpts on the short copy, right? You will not see some of these special money back offers or things like that on a short copy because the short copy is designed to be short, right? But a long copy, you will see it because it's a long copy, so there's a lot of things going on in the long copy. If you have gotten value so far, or if some of the things that I am saying you can relate to, you can just type it in the chat box. Let me know if I've passed value across or I'm just talking to myself. Let me know if I've passed value across. Please nobody should come to my screen again. Thank you. I saw somebody on my screen. Let me know if I've passed value across. Just say maybe you can type value something. Right. So if there's nothing that you learned at all from this session, understand that your job as a copywriter is not to be a writer. Your job is to understand what makes a writing sell. Right? That's your job. Because at some point you will not need to write anything again. You just need to prompt a robot to write, and that's all. So you need to understand what makes a writing sell. Right? Your job primarily is to sell. Okay. So let's go through this. Please, if you don't have this, I'm going to send this to the group now. I need you to open it. If you like have a second tab or a new phone or a second phone, I want you to open. I want you to open the tab or just open it wherever. I'm just going to send this again. All right, so if you are just joining for the first time, my name is Toby. I'm one of your instructors. I'm going to be taking you through this. We're going to be looking at this together, right? If you have not read it before now, right? So after we've looked at it, you can still go and read it and write it. What we'll be doing is we'll review some of the some parts of the copy. We'll review some part of the copy. Yeah, what Cyber.co does is very, very fantastic, right? They've already broken down some of the things for us. For example, the headline, they've already, so if you go to Cyber.co, you see these notations, right? These notations are like, this is the owner, right? It's the one that breaks down most of the most of the newsletters. So he has already broken down some of the sections for us to make it easier. But we'll just be looking at it. We'll just be looking at it again. So I want everybody, each people to read each session, or to just make this fast. I'm just going to be breezing through it, right? I want to also have room for question and finish quite early, maybe by 9:15 we are done, right? But let's start from the headline. Only brides and recently married women are invited to read this. What sort of headline is this? What sort of headline is this? The answer to that is this headline calls this target audience. It calls the specific target audience of who he's writing to, right? So because this target audience is super specific, right? Like I don't want anyone else to be reading this. I don't want anyone else to be reading this sales letter. Right? That's what this writer is trying to say here. Like only brides and recently married women are invited to read this page. And now this is an headline idea. And this can be for you. Like you can take this and transform it into any copy that you're writing. For example, let's say you are writing for a skincare product. You can just call out your specific target audience. Only women above 30 are invited to read this email. Right? This headline, it just specifically calls out the target audience. And now you can swipe this headline just like that. Whatever you are doing. For example, maybe I'm writing for an HR client. Only HR professionals who are ready to transform their game can read this email. That's one headline. So the headline just specifically calls out the specific audience. As simple as that. And then you see the sub headlines that are here, right? So when you write an headline is to give you see hierarchy in the text. So you see there's this big bold headline that calls out the target audience, and then he asks questions. He asks questions like, why do so many marriages fail? How can you make yours a success? Here is the answer. Now, it calls out questions that they are interested in, and you can see you need to see the correlation between this, right? It does not just put, because a lot of times when I review EMA copies, I see some copies like in your email, for some that put subtext. A lot of people don't put subtext anyway, but you see the subject line and then the subtext. The subject line is completely different from the subtext. This is a flow right here, right? It talks about only brides here and recently married. Then it goes and asks questions that are specific to what these people are talking about, what they are thinking about. So he asks questions. Why do many marriages fail? How can yours be? How can you make yours a success? Here's the answer. Note another thing. Nothing about this talks about the product. Everything here is talking about the target audience, which is very, very important. Paying attention to your target audience, making it about them, not about you, right? So you can see a lot of, guys, give me a moment. So you can see a lot of emphasis on the target audience. Nothing about the product here. Nothing about the product here, right? So I think, in my opinion, copywriting becomes easier when you are thinking about the audience. A lot of times, why it's hard for you to write copy is because you're just thinking about yourself. Like you're looking for what to say about yourself. Like just mention your target audience problem. Like just mention their problem. Just sit down and write 20 pain points that your problem that your audience are passing through right now. Just sit down, think, and write 20 pain points. What pain points are your, or why, or 20 reasons why your target audience will buy? Like, you need to be obsessed with your target audience, and this is what most of these swipes will teach you. No mention of about the products right now. It's just basically we are talking about them. We want to talk about them. There needs to be some obsession about your target audience. And so you must understand this, that when you are writing copy, right? When you are writing copy, you are writing to someone. That person does not care about you. They don't give a hell about you or what your product is. They don't give a shit about you. They are taking that thing right there, or reading that thing to solve a problem in their own lives. You must understand that your target audience, they are super selfish, and everybody is selfish, and everybody is rightly so, right? And that's why you must talk about them. You must talk about them to make them interested. And you see going forward that this whole first paragraph talks about problems, talks about pain points. Okay. And then you go there, say, so if only the breathless excitement of those days just before the wedding could last forever. Those days when your head is in the clouds, when you see everything in a rosy glow, the hope and expectations of happiness. But let's be frank, we are starting or have started married life. We are stepping into a new world in which your happiness depends upon many things: the intimate relations of a man and a woman, Pro- problems you may never have faced before, problems of sex, children, money, jobs, a home. Can you meet them? You are the you and your husband together, or will these problems beat you down, dispel your dreams, destroy all hope of happiness? Why do so many marriages fail? Why do so many dreams fade into misery? Because so many women do not know enough about marriage. See this first three paragraphs just specifically talking about the target audience. Now we are talking about their pain points, what they are often thinking about, the problems they often face. Right? You can see a level of obsession there with the target audience problem. Imagine you are a bride, a newly-wedded bride, or a married person, right? In those days, and you're reading this, you're super interested. You can relate to some of the things that he's saying, right? The problem of sex, children, money, jobs, a home. You're thinking about all of these things. Are we tracking? Are we tracking, guys? Can you see what I'm saying here? The obsession with the target audience, right? So another key point that you can take out from this class is that you need to be obsessed with your target audience. You need to be obsessed with your target audience. Understand their pain points. Understand their dreams. Understand their achievements or what they want to achieve. I understand their aspirations, right? So this is very, very important. And he even said the analyzer even said this, said it here. So after discussing the worries and fears married people, many married women have, they present the magazine as a solution. Now, after he has fully said all of this, so you can see that the headline, the sub-headline, the first three paragraphs, just talking majorly about the target audience before there's a storytelling hook that transitions to the solution here. All right, so it says 3 years ago, today's woman was founded as a magazine with a clear-cut editorial purpose to help the young married women make a success of her marriage. No editorial task has ever more seriously undertaken. For it, for if today's woman was ready to succeed in its purpose, it must break new frontiers. It must cast off the old shackles of you can't print that. It must face all the problems of marriage and tell the truth about them. So it shocked some, but it helped thousands. It printed the truth about sexual relationships, um, sexual relations, about sexual relations. So he told what it feels like to have a baby, talked frankly about birth control and about unfaithfulness in marriage. It gave the most practical help on the practical problems of married life, on, on housekeeping and family finances, and the husband's job and career wives, and babysitters, and planning, furnishing and decorating a home. Now, so what he just did here, what the writer just did here was talk about their problem, then talk about what today's woman magazine has done so far, right? So the solutions that they provided so far, what they've talked about, right? So the, the discussions they have to help women to succeed. And I can see the transitioning here. One thing I want us to do is to pay attention to the transitioning, right? So this transitioning was 3 years ago. 3 years ago, right? So it was a kind of transition with a by taking you back, right? So it transitions by taking you back and telling you the past achievements of this magazine, right? So then they start with a new kind of magazine. This was a pioneer project. It started modestly because today's woman is a new kind of magazine, different from any magazine even before published. A magazine planned, written, and edited for the young married women. Now they are positioning themselves as married. And this is very, very important, guys, because you're working with so many clients, right? And you will see a lot of people that what they need, right? What some clients need, they don't know what they need actually, right? They say maybe they need copy, they need to make sales, and you see that they are talking to everybody, right? So for what I'm seeing here is a magazine that is differentiating themselves from every other magazine, right? By specifically saying we talk about young married women, right? We talk to young married women, right? Who want to make their marriage or who want to make their marriage successful. So now this is a differentiating factor and can be a selling point, right? Can be a selling point for them. So that's important to note also, right? So today's woman has grown because when one woman makes a discovery, she tells other women about it. Today, nearly 1 million women buy it every month. Their letters pouring in on its editors tell over and over how it has helped them solve their problems, save their marriages, bring real happiness into thousands of homes. Have you been missing today's woman? Do you wish you could read the history-making features it has published? Make sure you do not miss anymore. issue features that's published. Make sure you don't miss anymore. Then this offer fulfills both of these wishes, right? So 29 features in one library, right? So now there's the anticipation aspect of saying, this is what we have done, this is why we are different, and do you want this opportunity? And this phase is important because it builds anticipation. It builds it's kind of what most times we do in the webinar, where we want to get people to raise their hands to an offer. We want to get people to say yes, they are interested. So they're asking questions here to for people in your mind, like they're asking questions that makes people want to say yes, I'm interested. Right. So you can, if you take notes, you see that these are question marks, which means like they want you to answer, right? So in your mind, typically, you are meant to answer. So this part is where you are getting people to raise their hand and say yes to your offer. Right. So there are some questions. So have you been missing today's woman? Do you wish you could read the history making features it has published? I've, make sure you do not miss anymore. Right. So they're asking questions to make you raise your hand and say yes before they now start talking about the features of the magazine. Right. So guys, the transition here from the problem, the solution, and then what makes us different. And this is the raise your hand, right? So guys, you can be writing this down as um as a framework right now. You can be writing this down as a formula. I'm just going to open this, and let me open another document so I can show you what I mean. But how many of us are getting value so far? If you are getting value, just drop value in the chat box. Drop value in the chat box. All right. Mm. Okay, thank you guys for typing value. Um, Thank you. Only 4 people are getting value. Great, awesome. All right. So we moved from here, then so hook, first 3 paragraphs. Mm. So we have get that. Okay. And then, so we've talked about what are different from other products. And then we'll talk about, so now we're in 29 features um, in the 25 features in one library volume. Okay. So I think there's two paragraphs here. Paragraphs. So now let's go. It says, let me check chat box. PDF for this class. I don't understand what you're saying, Roberta. So this is the swipe file. I've sent the swipe file to the onto the chat box, and I sent the swipe file earlier while I was sharing details for this meeting. You can get access to the swipe file. All right. So 29 features in one library volume. So the publishing house of Farrar, Strauss and Co. Incorporation has just published one has just was published in one full library size volume of 300 pages 29 of the most outstanding articles that have appeared in Today's Woman during the last 3 years. Every article by a recognized authority. See complete table of content and list of authors at left below. This book, under the title What Today's Woman Should Know About Marriage, is now on sale at bookstores. The publishers of Today's Woman want to make it possible for every bride and every recently married woman not only to have this book, but to have the continued help and inspiration that Today's Woman can bring you every month. So they have arranged with Farrell, Strass and Co. Incorporation for a special subscribers edition in full library size, handsomely bound, and they are making this truly exceptional offer. So um so offer review. So we'll call this offer review, right? And they could have just said, now we're offering this for, just put this there, right? But guys, did you think they have to say all of these stories, the publishing house of Farrar, Straus and Co, and then tell you all these stories about a recognized authority and blah blah blah? Now I'm sure this Farrar, Straus and Co Incorporation is it's a global name, right? So this kind of builds authority, right? Mentioning the name of the publishing house builds authority, especially if if there is an authority that is publishing, or for example, if there's an authority attached to any of the product. And I'm saying this because a lot of you working with clients, and if there can be an authority figure that you can kind of put in your copy as much as possible, try. Right. There was one of my a client I had, and he has worked with Coca-Cola. Every copy that not every copy, right? Because obviously we don't want to make it weird. But most times when we want to write good copies, we want to include that he has worked in Coca-Cola, because Coca-Cola is it's a Fortune 500 company, it's a big company, and we can borrow authority from there, right? We can always borrow authority from there. So I think that's the importance of this name here, right? And why they give you the features, which is a library size volume of 300, 300 pages, right? And then they tell you it's 29 articles by recognized authority, and they give you where to see it. And but also they give you what the title is about, which is what this woman should know about marriage, right? And um, they tell you why they want to make this accessible, because here you see that it's $3 You see it's $3 subscription, and they tell you why this offer, why they are making this offer, right? Which is very, very important. I see a lot of people do a lot of promo. Like I don't believe in promo except you find a genuine reason why you're doing that promo. For example, you see you're doing birthday offer, clinic on, like there is no genuine reason why you're doing a promo, right? So if you want to do a promo, there is a genuine reason why you're doing a promo. Now the reason why they mention it is because they want to make it accessible to every woman, right? Which is very, very important. Anytime you are doing a promo, right, for anybody, ensure that you are putting a genuine reason why you're doing the promo. Don't just say we're doing 50% off, right? When you're not Jumia, right? You are not Jumia, you're not on any of these big names, and we're doing 50% off. You need to explain this is why we are doing a 50% off. This is why blah blah. This is why we are doing a 20% off, right? Because of this and this and this, right? So putting a reason why is very, very important. And then the special offer review. So 1 year subscription to this woman for regular price $3. What this woman should know about marriage. And then there is the this thing here. So let's add there special offer, authority building. Let's put borrowed authority. Authority from the publishing house. Let us put authority. Well, we understand that it's called, there's something called borrowed authority. Right? Authority building using why. Right. So let's go to the next session. Let's go to the next session. So you get the reason why, then review the price here. So both for the subscription price alone, the yearly subscription price of today's woman alone is $3. But by sending the coupon below with only $3 now, you may obtain both the special subscriptions edition of this book and the next 12 issues of today's woman for the subscription price alone. Now, incentive, right? Okay. So now this is an incentive. You say if you pay $3 alone, instead of getting this book, you get the next 12 editions in in like in the next of you get the next 12 editions of the Today's Woman magazine. So every issue of Today's Woman for the coming year will be packed with the same exclusive type of practical understanding articles that have made it the magazine of the young married woman, plus outstanding fiction and beauty, fashion, and homemaking features. So don't delay a day in getting this book, and in getting this book that can mean so much to the success of your married life. And don't miss another single issue of this, the one magazine that is planned and published for you, the young woman. So there's a kind of urgency element here. But let's go ahead. So special money back guarantee. Now this is important. Imagine some people like you say like why do you have to do a guarantee? Like if someone is doing a guarantee for a $3 product, like very, very cheap $3 product, How much more a $500 product or a $1,000 product, right? So you can see a money back guarantee here. So just send the coupon with only $3 at once. If you are not completely satisfied with both the magazine and the book, just return the book within 10 days, and we will promptly refund your $3 and cancel your subscription. You may keep the first issue of today's woman with our compliments, right? So the special money back guarantee is clear, right? We don't get it, and this is why, again, I see a lot of people making confusing money back guarantees. Like it's like you want to do the money back guarantees, but you don't want to do it. Like if you want to do it, just do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Like you see money back guarantees like if you are not 100% satisfied, we'll make sure we satisfy you. That's not a guarantee, right? So what the guarantee does is to take the risk off the buyer and transfer it to the seller. Now, this is very, very clear. You don't get value from this magazine and the book within 10 days, right? We will refund you your money. It's so clear. 10 days, you have 10 days to practically say you want a refund of your money because you don't get value. And yeah, we're not even going to take back what you've ordered, right? Right. So it's complimentary. Whatever you get is complimentary, right? It's a compliment, even though you request your refund, right? So guarantees should be clear. Guarantees should be clear, not vague guarantees. And guys, don't be afraid of making guarantees. Statistically, less than 10% of buyers go back to ask for refund when you put a guarantee. You can search on the statistics. I'm not sure if the statistic is correct, but less than 10% go back to it. Like in my 4 years of doing marketing, like people seldomly ask for a refund, right? And again, if you're a marketer, you also need to ensure that any product you're sending out there, people are getting their desired results. Right? People seldomly ask, even when some people ask for the guarantee, it's not because that they did not get value. Sometimes it's just like decision issue, they're not sure, they are begging to return their money because they need their money back or something like that. Right. So always include guarantee. Right. So money, urgency element. Okay. All right. So and then you see some minor elements here that makes it more here you see social proof, right? So what this woman should know about marriage. And what they are putting here now is like excerpts of um excerpts of what some of the things that people are saying about the book, and these are authority figures, right? You see Dr. Robert C. Elliott. So where the babies come from, and they are practically just showing you some chapters there. So chapter one, marriage and its meaning. Some of the articles that is there about the marriage contract by Max Chopnik and Bill whatever. Then the only career in which a woman can be the boss, right? So they are practically putting some chapters of the book and putting some of the articles that are in those chapters, right? So that you can have a snippet of what is in the book, right? So even the guy said it here. So the common strategies by marketing free books, right? Give teasers and hints for what's inside. So giving teasers and hints of what's inside. For example, if you are selling a course, you can give teasers and hints of the chapters, the modules in the course, what's in the course, right? So what's here? Okay, so this is like the letter that you send to make the purchase. So this is more of like a call to action. Okay, so that's all about this sales letter. This is very, very short. Right now we've gotten the structure of the so guys, so this is it. Just this does the structure of the letter that I've just read, right? The structure of the letter that I was just read. The headline, um, calling out calling out headline, right? And then sub headline, question headline about pain point. Then hook, first three paragraphs discussing pain point. I can pick this. I can pick this particular structure right now, and let's say I have a client in in what industry? Let's say I have a client in energy or something like that, and I want to write a copy for them. I can just pick this framework right now and just start writing under it. So headline, calling out audience. All right, calling out audience. Then I call out the audience. Right, call out the audience. Then sub headline, question headline about pain point. And I ask two questions about pain point. And then the hook. I write first to discuss the pain point, and I discuss their pain point. This is just a structure already that I've created. All right, guys. Any question for me? Any question for me? All right. Any question for me? Any question? And have we gotten value? Did you get value in this? Okay, the notes. All right. This is easy. I can share this with you. I can share this with you. Have you gotten value from this? If you have gotten value from this, just type value in the chat box. Type value in the chat box if I've gotten value from this. And if you don't have any question, just type good to go, right? Good to go. And then I want to give you guys a quick classwork in the next 90 minutes. I want to give you guys a simple classwork in the next 90 minutes. If you don't have any question, two people got value, nice. If you don't have any question, just type good to go. I want to give you a quick assignment in the next 90 minutes. Just a quick classroom test, right? Right. Good to go, good to go. I want to do um I want to do a quick I want to do a quick giveaway. I want to do a quick giveaway, right? I want you guys to I've not decided what I'm going to give, but I'm doing a giveaway. I want you guys to turn this to a simple 100 and 200 words, 200 words email copy, right? This do just write a 200 word email copy from what you learned and from this file. No plagiarism, right? I don't want to see any sentence with the same, like I don't want to say any same sentence or any same line from this file that we've just read. I want you to use your own words to come up with a 200, 150 to 200 words email, all right, email from this web file. Right? What's your what the email will contain is a subject line, your subtext, and the email body. Right? Your your subject line, subtext, and the email body. Send your send the email to the group. Tomorrow I'm going to review the email. Anybody with the best email that I see as the best email and the most likes, right? Because we'll be reviewing together. The most likes, the best email, I have a gift for you. All right. Do we understand that? Do we get that? Do we get that? Drop an emoji if you get the tax. Just drop an emoji if you get the tax. Okay. I'm trying to write the tax so that I can send it to you. Just give me a moment, guys. I'm trying to write the tax. Don't use the same headline. Don't use the same headline. You can use the same approach, but don't use the same and don't use the same headline. Um, I can rewrite this same headline in different ways that you still call out the bride. For example, I can turn this to a question. I can turn this to I can turn this to a scenario-based deadline. There are different ways to go about it, and you still do the same principle that they used there in the that they used in the copy, but a different way. I want you to do it differently. Okay. I'm posting it on the group now. Okay. So I want you guys to drop a reaction. I just sent it to the group now. Um to the upcoming. Let me type it on the I'm going to send it to the announcement. So um are we good? I've sent it to the group. Just confirm if you have seen it. Um I'm rounding up now. Do you have any questions for me? Any questions? Please, if you have any questions, now is the right time to do it. If you don't have any question, just type good to go. And once I see five good to go, we can round up this session. Thank you guys for joining today. I hope you guys got value, right? I hope you guys got value. And I'll be expecting your entries. I'll be expecting your entries by tomorrow evening. Latest tomorrow evening.